Say it.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Working Title Podcast. This is a new segment on the channel where we'll be discussing topics that I don't think will fit in a normal video essay format, but would still be interesting to talk about. So today we're going to be talking about our Pixar movies ranked, and I'll be having my brother Jake as a guest. Come on, Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Jake, very nice to have you.
You too. Shoot.
Okay, so today we're gonna. I didn't mean. Today we're gonna be talking about our Pixar movies ranked. I have my tangerine LaCroix. Jake has his watermelon. Okay, here we go. Follow my letterbox at Nick Lascala to see the list, even though I'm explaining it right now.
Follow mine.
What's your letterbox? You can't just say follow mine.
I assume they know. You said my name is Jake. They know my last name.
Just say follow mine.
Alright, keep that in. Keep all that in. That was funny. You can remove the part of me spitting if you want. Ugh. This is gonna be a hoot.
Yeah, follow his letterbox if you could find it, because we're not telling you. Okay.
Okay.
Are you nervous?
Very.
Okay, so I'll go first. We're gonna go place by place. My number 22, then Jake's number 22, and so on. Starting off with number 22 is Cars 2. We can both explain after we give our selections.
Alright.
What about you?
My 20. Oh, shoot. My 22 is The Good Dinosaur.
Why is that?
That's because I haven't seen it. So instead of leaving it off, I felt bad and I wanted to put it, but I couldn't, So it's last.
Yeah, well, I had Cars 2 at number 22, even though I haven't seen The Good Dinosaur, because
makes
Cars
no
2 is just that bad. There's nothing good or redeemable about it. If I was 5 years old, I'd probably still dislike it. So number 21, I already spoiled it, but for me it's Good Dinosaur. Again, I haven't seen it, but it has to be better than Cars 2.
Yeah, touche. Alright, okay, 1 minute, I need to find it.
You're not just on your list. Follow his letterbox that we're not saying.
Alright, yeah, number 21, the true last place for me, is Cars 2.
Yeah,
For obvious reasons.
as we all expected.
It's the biggest mistake Pixar's ever made as a company.
I think when they brought the Pope into Cars, I think that's when it kind of all came downhill. Yeah, remember the Pope car?
I don't remember.
Oh, well. Okay.
Alright,
Number 20 for me is Cars 3.
that's so awful. It's an awful take.
That's not a cold take.
Alright, number 20, the real number 20, is Brave.
Brave is not that bad.
It is. Let me tell you why. 1 minute. Alright, so really, I'm just reading what I wrote on Letterboxd. Follow me. Nothing in this movie ever really resonated with me. The characters and plot were pretty forgettable, and it just doesn't hold up at all compared to their other movies. I forgot what happens in it. I'm not gonna lie.
The bears.
I mean,
When the kids turn into the bears.
someone turns into a bear, but that's all I remember. And
The kids.
yeah, you're not helping. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory.
I feel like it just wasn't like that bad. But Cars 3,
Cars 3 is not that bad.
no, here's the thing. We discussed this previously slightly, and I said Cars 3 is just tainted by Cars 2. Because Cars 2 is so goofy and so out there. And then Cars 3 begins with, like, Lightning McQueen mourning the death of his, like, role model. Like, doesn't that tonal jump just make, like, no sense?
I mean, yeah, but if it was in the same movie, it would. But like, it's a different movie.
I just still feel like...
They were trying to get away from Cars 2. That's why they did that.
I just can still feel Cars 2's presence.
I mean, to me, Cars 2 is so forgettable that I, like, wiped it from my existence and I just watched Cars 3 as if it was its own movie.
Well, on its own, I still think it is not better than these other things.
Do you think it's better than Brave? I mean, worse than Brave?
Yeah.
Cars 3 on its own
Yeah.
is worse than Brave?
Yeah. It just doesn't, like, it just doesn't really make sense to me. Like, how did Doc die? He's a car.
I mean, we don't need to know that.
It's like... But also stuff like that, like, that's kind of all surface level, but more, like, realistically, I thought the ending was not satisfying. Like, how Lightning McQueen became, like, the mentor. I thought, like, the idea of it was cool, but overall I thought the execution was just, like, pretty poor, where it just kind of, like, the ending just fell flat for me. I thought it all happened, like, very suddenly, so... And I feel like that's the only, like, really emotionally resonating part of the movie, so I don't really know. It wasn't... It's not high on my list at all. In fact, it's number 20.
Yeah. Alright, I disagree. Next.
Okay, number 19, Finding Dory.
Horrible take.
No, that
I'm just
is,
kidding. I'm just kidding. Because, well, not because. I have Bug's Life, and to be honest, it's probably just like recency bias. I've only seen this like once, probably not like all the way through. Just like I put the pieces together, and it just came out in a time that was dominated by Toy Story, and so I had no interest in it.
Mm.
I didn't even give it a rating. I couldn't because I really, I don't know, I just like the other ones better because I've seen them more recently. That's really my only explanation.
I get that. A Bug's Life is kind of foggy in my memory, but Finding Dory is just so low for me because just kind of like a lot of these sequels that they started to make, like, were just so, like, forced. Like, Finding Dory, that just doesn't really make, like, it's like, I don't know, it's clever, I guess, but, like, I guess it's the natural, like, evolution of, like, one person being lost is that, like, the person with no memory
Yeah,
would
how'd
be
you not
lost.
get lost too in the first one?
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of it just didn't really work for me. I think it's still, like, these are all, like, Pixar movies, so, like, none of them are truly, like, bad, except for, like, Cars 2 and probably The Good Dinosaur. I've heard really bad things. So, like, even though, like, it's really low on this list, it's not really, like, a bad movie. It's just, like, really average for me. So, yeah. Finding Dory, number 19.
Alright. Okay, 18 is Finding Dory for me.
Mm.
And, yeah, basically the same reasons, like...
Just underwhelming.
It was kind of, yeah, I mean, like, again, I don't know. The best part was when, like, they fell in slow motion off, like, the cliff. And
That was, like, Inception.
Yeah, which is, like, weird that movie even, like, that happened in that movie.
I feel like it jumped the shark a little bit.
But, I don't know, I thought it was an entertaining time.
Like,
I didn't hate it by any means.
Like, if the idea of Finding Dory already wasn't forced enough, like, the fish is getting out of the water.
Yeah.
Fish, rather.
Yeah.
But number 18 for me is The Incredibles 2. I can see it being, like, pretty low relative to other people's lists, but, again, just, like, underwhelming. Similar to, like, Finding Dory, like, Finding Nemo is just, like, a classic. Like, Finding Nemo and, like, Incredibles is just, like, one of those things where you could, like, catch lightning in a bottle, where it's, like, those movies are just, like, so highly regarded and, like, so amazing in so many different ways that, like, a sequel is just, like, it's not gonna be as good. Like, everyone's gonna go in with, like, expectations so high that,
Yeah.
like, I feel like I went in with like expectations too high. I mean, it was like heartwarming and stuff like that, but and the antagonist was really cool. I liked how they switched it up, but then
Yeah, that's scary.
when they got on the yacht, and then it turned out to be like the sister, I was like, I don't know, because like I thought like the idea of the villain was cool, but I thought like I could kind of see the sister being like the villain like the whole time.
Yeah.
Like the villain itself, like in the costume was like really scary, but like the plot twist, I was like, okay, it was like whatever. I kind of expected that. She looks evil.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, personally, I didn't really put it together. I mean, kinda I did, but like, I don't know. I thought it was kind of well done, but that's not my 17. My real 17, Cars 3. I just think it's better than Brave. I think it's better than Finding Dory. I kind of like the more emotional take they took. The poster's kind of sweet, you know?
Yeah, that poster's really dramatic. Remember that trailer?
Yeah.
Where it was like him tumbling in slow motion?
Good lord, yeah.
I thought he was gonna die.
Yeah, I was scared.
It turns out Doc died. Spoilers for Cars 3.
Yeah, but let's see, what did I say? Yeah, okay, so like, alright.
Follow his letterbox if you haven't already.
Alright, I'll just read what I said. So I said this one definitely saved the franchise after Mater's Tall Tales, the movie, left everyone in shock and horror. I was genuinely horrified by that movie, Cars 2. But yeah, I don't know, it did what it needed to do, you know what I mean? I was pretty emotional. I was emotionally attached to the majority of it, and I thought the ending was kind of whack. Like it was pretty expected. I thought that Lightning McQueen was gonna like make a comeback, but I'm happy for the car that.
Yeah, whatever her name is, that just kind of shows how underwhelming it was.
Yeah. So.
Well, my number 17 is Brave, which is very coincidental because you said that it's better than Brave.
Yeah.
Which it's not. I feel like Brave is really hated on for like no like real reason. Like it's not as good as Pixar's other movies, like by any means. But is it like so bad that like people just hate it like so much?
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's better than Cars 3 and Finding Dory. For real.
That's what I said.
What?
You said my list.
No, it's worse than Cars 3.
No,
and
it's
Finding
not.
Dory.
No, it's not. I thought like the concept was like very original. I thought the execution was done pretty poorly, but like overall,
Everyone's
I thought it was
turning
like
into
charming.
animals in Disney movies. Brother Bear? They literally copied it from Brother Bear.
I guess so. I kind of forgot about Brother Bear. Joaquin Phoenix's best role.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Brave is just hated on. I don't think it's really that good, but also, like, it's not like bad. Like the other like Cars 2, like I wouldn't want to watch again, but Brave, it's like whatever. If it's on, then it's on. I don't know. There's not really much to say about these bottom tier ones because they're all just like really average. I feel like, or underwhelming sequels that have made them so low.
And we're all kind of, and like we both have like similar movies in the top or the bottom like portion.
Yeah. 16.
Yeah, 16 for me is Incredibles 2.
Mm.
And that, like, at this point, they're, like, all great for me.
Mm.
Which might be strange to say considering the movies I have coming up, but, yeah, they're all great. And I think that this is a great movie, but not the greatest. You know what I mean?
You think Incredibles 2 is a great movie?
I think it's great.
Wow.
I mean, I don't think it's, like...
I gave it 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, so did I. Oh no, I gave it a 4. But I don't know. I don't know. I thought the animation was probably some of Pixar's best for obvious reasons. I mean, it just came out recently. But like, but it was still impressive, and I liked the story for the most part. I did think it got kind of a little too convoluted at the end.
Yeah, when there was all those other superheroes, it kind of lost me. I think that's when it jumped the shark too.
Yeah, but I don't think that's enough to take away from like it as like an overall like movie. and that's just my opinion.
Mm. Number 16, I have A Bug's Life. I also can't really remember this movie, but I remember liking it, and I remember thinking it was like very original. And I don't know. This may be a little high. I'm probably gonna have to rewatch this one, to be honest, but that's my number 16. Not a lot to say.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add to that either.
No.
I just haven't seen it.
Number 15. I feel like this is for me when like the movies start getting like really good. Well, actually no, probably at 14, because 15 is Monsters University, which
Classic.
some may call a hot take. I feel like this movie is heavily underrated.
Oh yeah.
Severely underrated.
Yeah, I mean just like crazy how underrated it is.
This movie has me laughing out loud multiple times.
Yeah, like ferociously.
It is such a heartwarming movie. Like, it is so comical. Like, seeing the relationship between Mike and Sully is like very entertaining. It's just as entertaining as it was in the first movie, except what really brings it down is how non-entertaining the rest of the world is outside of like their relationship.
Yeah.
Like, the side characters are good or whatever, but the movie just loses focus so many times. Like, when it starts drifting away from like the main storyline, like the ending is like an extra 20 minutes that like the movie just didn't need. It seems to lose focus a lot of the time, and that's when it's at its worst. But when it's at its best, it's like just more of like Monsters Inc. like funny stuff going on. Yeah. I mean, it's like missing that like heartwarming factor. I feel like with Boo like being like the real emotional core of it. But like the relationship between Mike and Sully is like really well developed. I feel like enough to carry the movie. It's just everything else about the movie is not as great. Like the side characters are funny, but everything else just feels kind of like lax. Like I don't know. I feel like this is Monsters Inc. Like the world should be like fleshed out, and like to some degree it is, but like I feel like it lost focus too many times.
Yeah, I agree that it lost focus a lot at the end. I can remember most of the movie up until like the whole like scare off thing at the end, but then when they go into like the woods, they lost me.
That was so stupid. That took like it felt like forever, like an eternity in that movie theater.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll get to it when it comes up on my list, but I enjoy it as well. Yeah, number 15 for me. This is probably a hot take for a lot of people. But it's Up.
Oh my.
I mean...
You really hate that movie.
I don't hate it. I said all the movies...
You really hate that movie, don't you?
I really don't. I do think it's a great movie. I just think that it's a little overrated.
Wow.
In some points.
Wrong.
I mean, like, obviously the first... the opening scene is, like, one of the best of all time. To be honest. I watched that scene just to cry on my own. But besides that, like after that part, I mean, it just, I don't know, it gets a little messy for me. Like, I don't know, like the side characters don't really add much, in my opinion. I mean, like, Kevin doesn't talk, so it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't really remember what he does. And, like, I do like Doug. I like Russell. I like Carl. But, I don't know. The like, opening scene only carries that movie so far for me. And the rest of it's just... It's good, but it's, like, average compared to the rest.
Yeah. I get that when I'll talk more about it when it gets to my spot on the list. I can see how it would be, like, overrated from the opening scene. That's, like, what a lot of people focus on. But number 14 for me is the original Cars.
Yo, me too.
Bruh. Classic.
Yeah, that you cannot go wrong.
You have Cars above Up?
Yeah.
that's just not right.
I love Cars.
I mean, like, Cars is good. For me, it's like, it's number 14, like, higher than the other ones, because there's just so many, like, iconic, like, moments. And, like, it's not all to, like, make the movie good, but, like, when Lightning McQueen is like paving that road, I feel like I'm in the summer heat.
Yeah, when he's struggling like that, when he's Bessie.
Yeah.
Good
Remember when those like the tourists come in Like,
oh yeah,
and everyone's like, yeah, going after them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a classic like redemption story, I feel like. And it's like done like very originally, like through talking cars. I feel like some of it is like pretty underdeveloped. I didn't really understand like how he and like the girl end up.
Sally?
Yeah, Sally. I don't know. I don't. There's like parts that just like bring it down, but overall, I think it's like a positive experience.
Yeah, I do too. I also have it there, like I said. And yeah, I mean, it's just classic moment after classic moment. Like, you know, when he's
Life
like,
is a highway.
yeah, I mean, it is. It really is.
Yeah.
But like when he's like, it opens with him in the darkness. He's like, you know,
I am speed. Like that's iconic.
Classic.
When he won the race by the
His
look
tongue?
of his tongue,
Good lord.
his fat tongue.
That was amazing. But yeah, like Kachuga, you know.
Kachuga.
I don't know. I thought all of the supporting characters were really, like, you know, they were there for a reason and they really added to the story.
Yeah, they're definitely some of the best supporting
Yeah.
characters, I feel like.
And you know when he's like when they're all driving on the road after it's smooth.
That scene
must
with
felt
the
nice.
with the like the racers that hijacked like
Oh,
McQueen's
yeah,
truck. That was
yeah.
so sick.
Mac.
Yeah, Mac the truck.
Yeah, and then like Owen Wilson is just like
All time
voice.
performance.
of an angel.
I feel
And
like,
Larry the Cable Guy.
but I feel like some parts of it were like a little coincidental. Like he just like happened upon this town, then like Mac just like comes in out of nowhere, like, oh,
Yeah.
Lightning McQueen, I found you. Like we can leave now. It's kind of
Yeah.
like I don't know like how much like.
I mean, I feel that's kind of to be expected though.
I mean, yeah, when I was like a kid, I didn't care, but like now it's just a little like out of the ordinary. I feel like.
I could see that. Yeah. I mean, I just think it's like an original story, done really well, and
Yeah.
for that, like you can't go wrong.
Simple as that. Classic Pixar.
Yeah.
Number 13, I have Onward.
Oh, nice.
Thanks.
All right.
What about you?
13 for me is Monsters U.
That is
And-
so high.
Yeah, it's very high.
Like
Almost top 10.
I think Onward is like, I mean, obviously I think my list is right, but I think Onward is a perfect number 13 spot. It is just so like average in the grand like, it's so
Yeah,
average in like
comparatively.
Pixar's
Comparatively,
terms.
yeah.
Yeah, like it has like everything that would make like a good movie. Like it's really original, and I
It'd
feel
be
like we're
the best
hyped.
DreamWorks movie. Best
Yeah.
Illumination movie by
Yeah,
far.
easily. Like I feel like we're really stressing originality too because it's like Pixar. So like,
Yeah.
even though like the concept doesn't have to necessarily be original for Pixar, it's like people look forward to like a new Pixar movie that's like brand new and like original. So this was like really big because people are like, wow, this is the first like non-live action or sequel movie that we're getting from like Disney or Pixar in so long.
Mhm.
So I feel like I had a lot of expectations, and for the most part they delivered. Like in the grand scheme of like movies, I'd say it's like a great movie. I feel like the relationship between like, even though it's kind of like cliche, it's like oh, I think you're like a loser, and then like, oh, you think I'm a loser, and then he like finds out like halfway through. It's like,
Yeah.
It's
That
like-
crushed me though.
yeah, I feel like it's exactly like it's cliche, but it's done really well to the point where it's like, yeah, like I'm following along with this like story, even though I've heard it like a million times before.
Mhm.
Which I feel like is like the biggest crime of this movie is that it tries its best to be original, but in the end, it kind of just becomes more of a narrow experience. But also, like kind of going off of that, the ending was like done really well. I feel like I'm really glad that he didn't like speak to the dad because it seems like it fits his character so well to not be the one talking to the dad and have like Chris Pratt's like character be the one to see his dad because it seemed like he was struggling more.
Yeah.
So I think like in the grand scheme of things, it's like a really good movie, but like comparatively to other Pixar movies, especially these top 10,
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
I
it's
agree.
just average.
It doesn't compete with like the top 10 in mine either.
yeah. Wait, hold on. I have to see if it's still recording because it only has a half-hour time limit. Okay, yeah, there's 5 minutes left, but we can just like record again.
Again.
Just like press the record button again.
Yeah, yeah. But we just need to know when 5 minutes is up.
Okay, it's 4:37.
Okay.
What's your 13?
Mine is Monsters University. Oh my.
Have anything to say or?
Yeah. So, I think like you were saying, Nick.
Yeah, I'm the only other person here.
So I think it's like a better than a lot of people give it credit for.
It's so funny.
It is probably the funniest Pixar movie. I'm not gonna lie.
I would say it was the
What's funniest?
Monsters Inc.
Yeah. Okay.
Toy Story.
Toy Story's funny in its own way.
Okay, I don't really know what that means.
No, but Monsters U is probably the funniest, followed by Monsters Inc. And I mean that's really just because of Mike Wazowski.
Yeah, he's so funny.
He's hilarious.
I just think his character works so well in that movie.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he didn't always want to be like a technician or whatever he is, and like in Monsters Inc. like him starting out as like wanting to be a scarer, and then him just like not being good enough, and then the whole lesson that like you have to like accept who you are and like be happy with that. I think that works like really, really well in that movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, like the core is so good, but I feel like the execution of the rest of it was just kind of bland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why mine's a little higher, is because I thought overall it was like good. Besides the end part that we talked about. But yeah, like one of the best things about it was Mike's development and Sully's too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they carried.
Yeah, I mean they had to.
They're the main characters.
But like, I really liked all the supporting cast. They didn't do much, and
yeah, they were just kind of like shallow jokes. I feel like,
yeah.
But the jokes were funny.
I mean, yeah, like some people might bring it down because of that reason, but like, I just thought they were like good, and that's all they needed to be. Like, I didn't think like with Mike and Sully leading the way, they didn't need to be something that would like carry it any more than they did.
I could see that.
And like,
but I still disagree.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I don't know. Funniest, other things, and
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of extinguished at the end. For me, number 12 is Toy Story 4.
Wow.
I mean, I just think like we were talking about this when we first saw it. Like, I'm not like mad that it happened because it's like a good movie. It's like a really good movie. But like, it just like didn't need to. It didn't.
In my opinion, it needed to happen. But I'll get to that.
I mean, I feel like the ending was pretty. I was really shocked with how well they adapted Woody's character to a fourth movie. The way they could give him a character arc so many times, that is like really satisfying.
That's why I felt like it needed to be made.
But that's where like our difference lies. Like, I thought like he was fine at the end of Toy Story 3. I'm really glad they made it work in Toy Story 4 because it works really well. But just overall, like, it would have been fine like if it wasn't made.
Yeah, I mean, that's just. But I think that like shows how well done Toy Story 3 was too.
Yeah.
I mean, it like technically it didn't need to be made, but like I thought that it was important to like Woody's character, and in my opinion, it needed to be made. But I can see why other people don't think that, and I like to a point I would agree with them.
So like in that confusion, it just kind of like brought me down a little bit, but also like again, it's a great movie. Like I'm pretty sure I gave it 4 out of 5. Like it's just the top 10 are just like some of the best animated movies ever made. So you can't really do anything about that.
All right, so my number 12 is WALL-E.
That is such a cold take. Literally, that is such a cold take. How is WALL-E so low?
Yeah, I don't even know myself. I mean, I guess I do, but like, just like even the first time I saw it when it first came out, I was just like, it was good. And again, I mean, everything above Incredibles 2 on my list is a great movie in my opinion. So it was great, actually. But like, it to me it doesn't. There's a lot of reasons why it's placed here, and it mostly comes down to just like my nostalgic feeling towards the ones in the top 10, and that like weighs heavily on me for this list. And WALL-E just didn't have that same effect on me. But I don't know. Like, I need to see it again, I'm not gonna lie. But from what I remember, yeah, I don't know, it just didn't resonate with me, and that's really all I have. Because I haven't seen it in so long, it'll probably move up when I redo this list after I watch it. That's really all I have. I know it's pretty poor reasoning.
Yeah, I'll talk about it when I get to it on my list, because that is criminally low. Not even in the top 10. Well, regardless, my number 11 is up for
That's pretty high.
many reasons. I would argue it's perfectly placed. So, I mean, like, I agree with you when you say that it could be seen as, like, overrated because of that intro scene. I think, like, it's overrated in that sense, but also it's not, like, that, like, one scene is, like, the only good part of the movie. Like, the relationship between, like, the two main characters, it's, like, really solid. In the way that it all comes 360 with Carl, like, giving Russell the pin at the end. It's
I do like the ending.
The journey of, like, him moving on is, like, really profound, I feel like. Even though I feel like it got a little crazy when it got, like, really action-packed in that third act, I thought that wasn't really necessary. But I think, like, the fact that, like, the old man, like, the antagonist, I feel like he could just be, like, a parallel of, like, Carl in a way. Like, Carl just, like, sees, like, this evil, like, old man that's, like, traveling but for, like, all the wrong reasons. Like, he finds the beauty in things so he can, like, take it, but Carl's just trying to find the beauty in things so he can, like, be, like, fixed, like, internally.
Fulfilled.
Yeah. So I feel like everything about it, like, works just really well. And the only reason it isn't higher for me is because all these other movies are just, like, some of the best animated movies ever made, and I've, like, grown up with them. But this is definitely, I feel like, one of Pixar's, like, best movies.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I did enjoy the ending. And again, I do like the movie. It's just, I like the rest better. And, I don't know, I, like, the middle part where it, like, got a little, messy, in my opinion, it really, like, struck with me because I was expecting so much from the opening scene that, like, the middle being a little, convoluted, too convoluted, just, like, weighs more on me than I think it does other people. Because I was expecting so much from the opening scene. But it did come full circle and, like, well, and I did enjoy the relationship, but I didn't think it was enough to, like, have me place it higher.
Yeah, I guess.
But my number 11 is Onward. Perfectly placed.
I would disagree, but...
yeah, I might disagree with myself in the future, but I just really liked it. I, like, obviously.
That's it.
Yeah. I don't know, I just thought they did, like, a road trip movie really well, because it's basically what it is. I thought that Chris Pratt and Tom Holland were perfect in their voice casting.
That's true.
I don't think anyone could have, like, played their roles better, and it just really, like, when I get into the top 10, and I will include this movie kind of with it, it's just, like, a lot, being placed in the top 10 relies a lot on how much it, like, the movie resonates with me emotionally.
It starts to get down to, like, personal preference, because they're all just so good.
Yeah, and, like, this movie, when I watched it for the first time, really, like, resonated with me. And so, like, yeah, it just comes down to that, basically. Like, I understand, like, why, like, WALL-E probably should be, ahead of this, but, in terms of just my favorite movies, which is what this list is for me, I just like Onward better, and I feel like that's how my explanations are gonna go for like the rest of this list. It's just like I just simply liked a movie better. Like it struck a chord with me more than another one did.
I see. I just think some of the themes that it was trying to explore also were pretty underdeveloped. Like people have touched on this already, but like the whole like technology thing where they're like, technology's bad.
In Wall-E?
No, in Onward. Remember there was magic and then taken away.
Oh,
and
yeah.
started going on their phones. I was like, that's kind of like tacky. They didn't really touch on it that much more. Like,
Yeah, I mean that's kind of been done a lot.
yeah, that kind of brought it down for me. I thought that was so tacky. But anyways, my number 10 is Coco.
Mine too.
Wow,
Would you look
this
at that?
may be the first time we agreed.
No, we agreed on Cars.
Oh yeah. Why'd you have it at 10?
Well, I had it at 10 because, I'm not going to say it has the best music out of any Pixar movie because that's just not true. It only has one good song.
Yeah, that song is fire though.
Yeah, but it's not.
Poco Loco.
That's not the song. Bro.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, good lord. I mean, but like, you know, it was an original, like, one of the most original stories I've ever heard of.
And very emotionally resonating.
Yeah.
Which I feel like comes from the like the very well thought out like structure and character development. I feel like the plot twist was like, even though I feel like it could like I could have seen it coming, the way they executed it was still done like pretty well.
No, I agree, yeah. Like, I thought that, like, after I finished it, it could be seen as predictable, like the ending, but like, and even though I could have seen it coming, the way they did it still, like, I was, like, shocked by it.
Yeah.
Which I think, like, it's hard to do if, like, you kind of use a trope, you know, that, or something that's been done before.
Yeah. That ending. Sheesh.
Yeah,
When he
yeah.
sang to the grandma?
Yeah, exactly. That's why this is so hard to me. Like, no, sorry, that's... That's why this movie is so high with me as well. You know what I'm saying. Is because, like, yeah, just how emotionally resonant it was. And it has some of the best animation. Like, when he first
was
enters
beautiful.
the
That
Land of
bridge.
the Dead, yeah, that is, like, one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Not gonna lie.
I mean, I have to agree.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought the story was so original, and that really helped it. And I don't know, what's the little kid's name? Coco. Miguel. Yeah, Miguel.
Yeah.
He was cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna talk about Coco for. Number 9 for me is Wall-E.
Yeah, mine's Toy Story 4.
Yeah. See, I just think your opinion on Wall-E is just like so low. Like I don't know why you think so low of it.
Yeah, I don't either.
And it's like a very like relevant message. Like
It's
and
incredibly relevant.
talking about Onward, like there's a difference between like relevant and like overdone. Because like how bad is like technology really for us? Like that just seems like a trope. See, like something like old people would say. But like everybody can agree that like the Earth needs to be like doing better.
That's true.
With like pollution and stuff. So a very relevant message. Even back then in 2008, Wall-E is just like such an amazing protagonist. Like the way they're able to like convey emotion and like get across like his desires and his needs and everything through like no like words, just like beeps and boops, was like was like very like I don't know. That was like really well done. Yeah, I mean yeah, but what are you really gonna get from that? Like,
Does he even beep or boop?
yeah,
I thought he just.
no, he.
You know.
No, I mean he'll make some beeps and boops every now and then.
I mean, I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah, I can tell. But yeah, this movie is just when he's in space. That's one of the most beautiful
the
things
whole
I've ever
movie's in
seen.
space.
No, when he was flying in
No, I
space
know.
with
The fire extinguisher.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I thought it was just really well done. It is. I think you're not giving it enough credit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I am either. I think I need to see it again.
Yeah, so
But
that's my
even
number
if I
9.
do see it again, I don't think it'll like resonate with me as the other ones did.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. Toy Story 4 for me, like I was saying, I felt that it was important that it was made. I felt like it needed to be made. I felt like that Woody was like, as much as the ending for Toy Story 3 was perfect, maybe this is just me being a fan of like the series, I was still wanting more. And I do think the ending of Toy Story 3 was perfect, and it like could have easily ended there. But I'm just glad that this was made, mostly for like on a personal level. And again, that weighs heavily for me when I'm ranking these Pixar movies, but it's not as emotionally impactful as the third one. But I still felt like it conveyed enough emotion for me to like,
feel.
feel.
Yeah, when
Believe.
Woody left at the end, that was really sad.
Yeah.
I feel like I almost cried.
Yeah, I almost cried.
Yeah, we don't cry though.
Yeah. But yeah, I felt like it proved that it needed to be made. All the new characters were perfect in my opinion. And that really added a lot to it. Like, it is the best looking Pixar movie that they've ever made.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
In my opinion. The opening scene with the rain literally looked
That
like
was
real
insane.
life. It looked like
It
real life.
looked better.
Yeah, it did. So yeah, I don't know, that carried it a lot for me too. But
yeah, I mean, it was good. Just not as good as Wally.
yeah.
Number 8 for me is Ratatouille.
Me too. Wow.
I feel like some people, we like rewatched this recently, and I feel like I have like had a really like newfound appreciation for the movie.
Me too.
Because I feel like sometimes like Pixar movies can like talk about like important topics, but like pretty surface level topics, which I feel like is what happens in a lot of like the lower ranked movies for me. But Ratatouille like talks a lot about like what is art, like what is criticism, like does like art even need to be criticized if it's just art, like
Yeah.
and all this through the lens of like a rat cooking.
Yeah.
Like, and like that rat cooking like works so well in the movie. Like, it is so entertaining to watch. It is so entertaining to like watch him and what's the guy's name?
Linguini?
Yeah, Linguini. It's so like nice to watch him and Linguini like build this relationship. Like, it is such a weird plot, but it works so well.
Yeah.
And it works so well to explore the questions it's trying to answer. Which I found those questions to be like really profound for a Pixar movie, and I thought that's why I had to rank it in my top 10.
Yeah. I know, I definitely gathered a new appreciation for it too, and for a lot of the same reasons. I mean, like, you know. Yeah, so what I meant to say was I really enjoyed like Remy and Linguini's relationship, and like if Coco's not the most original story, this might be. I mean, Pixar has a lot of original things. Like, you can't really,
Grading originality can be tough.
Yeah, like, it's original. Like, all these movies are original in a lot of ways. But this is just a story that, like, on like the surface seems like it would never work, but it does for all the reasons that you said. I think there's like so much more there than a lot of people give it credit for.
Definitely.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, recency bias. Like, I've seen this more recently than the others, but I think in the end, it deserves to be this high no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's like really just like nice to watch, and it makes me want to like
cook.
Yeah, cook.
Get a nice stew.
Yeah.
Nice creamy soup.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Toy Story 3 is my number 7.
Oh, that's a shame. That is. It's a real shame.
I mean, it's like, I don't know. All of these, like, once it gets beyond 8, I feel like any of them could be interchangeable because they're all so good. But, so I feel like I can only really highlight like the good parts now, and then the rest is kind of like just chalked up to like personal preference.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like everyone knows how great Toy Story 3 is. It seems like each sequel like got better in the original trilogy. Like I don't know how like they managed to make this work so well, but they did. Yeah, that tagline, "No toy gets left behind."
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
One of the best like endings to any movie ever. I feel like
Yeah.
it was just like such like this. I feel like it's like the perfect like ending to a trilogy. Like it has such a satisfying ending for all of the main cast. Then all the side characters have their own like problems going on, like their own development in some way. And it's funny. I feel like it just checks every single box that like makes a Pixar movie like absolutely amazing. And while doing that, it is able to end like a perfect trilogy in a perfect way.
It's not top 5?
No, because the other ones are so good.
No, that's fair. I mean, it definitely does come down to personal preference in the top 10. My number 7 is Inside Out. And I had this much higher at first, but I bumped it down. I think, like, I really, really like this movie, obviously. But for some reason, I, like, didn't appreciate it as much as I watched it, for the second or third or fourth time.
Yeah, I've seen this movie a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's why. Maybe, I don't know. It was just, like, seeing the same thing. But, like, it's still a great movie. It's still very emotionally impactful. Like, another one is, another part that makes me shed a tear, metaphorically, is when Bing Bong dies.
Yeah,
That's
truly.
probably one of the saddest moments in any Pixar movie. The great theme, which I didn't mention about Up. Great theme, piano.
Oh yeah.
Like, and that's honestly carries this movie pretty far for me.
The theme?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like a great theme, but
like, I think all the characters, all the main emotions are, like, amazing, and like the movie is just so real in what it.
Definitely.
Like, it's probably the most relatable Pixar movie. Mostly because the other ones are just so out there, but like it's the most I don't know. It's really down to earth, and it's really, you can identify with it in a lot of ways, and I just think it's like important to watch.
I agree.
And the storyline's great.
Yeah. I'll start talking about that because it's my number 6. I feel like it just took such a hard concept to make like a full like feature.
Yeah, that's true.
And it did it in like such an amazing way. Like, how do you make like emotions go through like character development? Like, how do you make happiness change and stuff like that? I thought they just did it really well. It's like such a heartwarming story, like you were saying. It's very like real and down to earth. It's something like a lot of people can relate to. It's something that everybody should know, is that like it's okay to be sad. That's such an important like lesson to learn. And it just executed it like flawlessly, I feel like.
Yeah. Nah, this is like probably the most important Pixar movie to be made.
Yeah, I agree.
Just in terms of like,
Message.
Yeah. Yeah. My number 6 might be kind of low for some people, I'm sorry. Is The Incredibles. And again, like, honestly, like, this could be number 5. And I don't know, I just like, let me see if I said anything for this. Nope. But like, this is a near perfect movie for me, and it just shows how good the other ones are ahead of this, that this is number 6. But like, I mean, the family has such an incredible dynamic. Like, it just works so well in every single way. There's not like a moment that is wasted in this movie, even though they do some crazy stuff in it, like in other Pixar movies where they do like they go kind of off the grid with like what they're trying to do narratively. That doesn't work like I was saying, for Up, for me personally, it doesn't work as well as it does for The Incredibles. They just kept it so tight, and the message that the movie was trying to convey stayed true throughout the entire thing, and that's why I think that it was just so cohesive. And I mean, I don't know, it just like every single time I watch it, which, you know, I need to watch this one again soon, but I can just feel like what they're trying to get me to feel. And yeah, I don't know, they're just so, like, the personalities of all the characters are really great, and there's just a classic moment after classic moment.
Yeah,
to me.
I agree. My number 5 is Nemo. Finding, that is.
Wait, yeah.
I said my number 6.
Yeah.
It was Inside Out.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Nemo.
Me too.
Wow.
Funny
how that works.
Yeah, funny. Continue.
I feel like Finding Nemo is so good because, like how you were saying Incredibles is so good because it's focused. Finding Nemo is very focused. And
quite focused.
Yeah, it seems like everything just works towards the main narrative, like, very, very well. I feel like the connection between, like, father and son was, like, so strong, even though they're so far apart for so long. And those scenes where they are separated, I feel like the pacing is so good, because it's not like, oh, like, I gotta go to Nemo's part, like, oh, I gotta go to Marlin's part. Like, I'm glad to be watching both sides. And, like, the animation was, like, absolutely incredible, especially for the time.
Yeah, good gracious.
It was so emotionally resonating for the entire movie, and yeah, it balances its tones well. I feel like it just does, like, everything well. It's just not, like, I just don't like it as much as my top 4.
Yeah.
For I don't really know why. It's just
no,
it's the way it is.
I agree. Like, again, like, Incredibles and Finding Nemo are so similar for me because, like, they're just, like, literally perfect. I'm not gonna lie, they're not rated 5 stars for me just because, you know, reasons. Maybe they're not literally perfect, but they're just, I don't know. They both, like, mean a lot to me personally, but they're also just so well done. Like what I've noticed about all the movies I've liked so far is just, like, how every character is important, and I felt every character served a purpose in this movie. Like you said, like, even though they had to, like, kind of go back and forth at some points, I was never bored of either storyline, and the way that it, you know, just converged at the end was, like,
so satisfying.
Yeah, like, I don't know, I just thought it was really great, and very emotional, very good.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah.
My number 4 is Toy Story 2.
Same.
Wow. It's like we planned this. We didn't, though. We didn't plan this.
Yeah, we didn't.
I think what makes the Toy Story series in particular so amazing is, like, just the absolute tomfoolery that takes place. Like,
yeah, there's some tomfoolery.
Like,
for sure.
like, the craziness of, like, the plans, the original, like, the originality and the intricacy of the plans that, like, the gang makes up to, like, complete whatever task they're doing. Like, we gotta save this toy, like, we gotta, like, go on the ledge, and, like, Slinky, like, you're gonna be this, and then, like, Rex, you're gonna do this. Like, it's so intricate for, like, a kid's movie, I feel like, but those, like, crazy, like, threads and storylines that go on, like, in these, like, plans that they make, it's just, like, I feel like it's its most flawless in Toy Story 2. And for me, it's not, like, better than my top 3, because something about, like, the antagonists and, like, I don't know, I just never liked that part as much as I liked the entirety of, like, the other ones. Yeah, Al was annoying, but, like, the Pioneer guy.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's in that.
Yeah, but so yeah, I think that's why it's not as high as, like, my top 3, but it's basically a perfect sequel.
Yeah, I think it is a perfect sequel as well. I wish they did something with Stinky Pete and the other ones.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. Toy Story 4, they could have done something, maybe.
Stinky Pete. makes a return.
I mean, he's like who knows where, with that little
didn't they
girl
just ship him
in the
off, or-
backpack. No, he was like.
No, I feel
in
like
the
he did show
backpack.
up eventually in like something, like some after credit scene. No, the after
There was
credit
the
scene
bloopers.
was bloopers.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it came up in a different movie, in like some after credits thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a perfect sequel as well. Like, I mean, it can do no wrong, really. Like,
it did everything that Toy Story did, like just even more,
yeah,
and on like a grander scale.
yeah. It was no. They completely like the scale of this movie is so much larger.
Like the airport.
Yeah,
That was crazy.
there's so many things that I forgot happened in this movie that really that happened. Like the opening scene with Buzz, like traveling. It's like Rex playing as him in the video game.
Yeah.
But it was him like
Yeah, that was a crazy intro too.
I know, yeah. Like, that alone was great. But there was just so many things that I forgot happened, and so many things that, like, I just remember so vividly from watching it when I was younger.
Yeah.
That,
It's like when it happens, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, like in the toy store when, like, there was the wall of Buzz Lightyears.
Yeah.
And
then like the evil Buzz.
yeah. And, I don't know, the cleaning scene where he cleans Woody.
Iconic.
That is so satisfying. But, I don't know. I liked it for all the reasons that you really said, to be honest.
Perfect sequel.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm so hungry.
Me too. Number 3, The Incredibles.
Wow. Yeah, mine was Toy Story 3.
That is really high.
Yeah, because it's that good.
Higher than Toy Story 2?
Obviously.
I thought you really liked Toy Story 2.
Yeah, I do, but like, I really,
I know
really
you
like Toy Story 3.
Wow. Why is it higher?
It's even grander.
Yeah.
It might not be as grand,
But I feel like the hijinks.
the hijinks are insane.
Like the plans that they make.
Yeah.
It's like a prison escape movie.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
It literally is.
in the intricacy of their plans, like it is
Yeah.
so enjoyable to watch it unfold. And I
It
feel
takes
like
some mad creativity.
I feel like honestly, like I may have to like move my list around potentially because I feel like that is at its most complex,
Yeah.
but it works flawlessly.
Mhm.
Like the twists and turns that go on, because like none of their plans like ever go well. If they did, it would be a boring like movie to watch. Just be like, oh,
Yeah.
they just did exactly what they said they would do.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But like the twists and turns in Toy Story 3
Yeah.
and Toy Story 2, just like the hijinks that go on.
Oh, good lord.
Like that's what really draws me to the Toy Story franchise. I feel
Yeah.
like, and it's done so well in Toy Story
Mhm.
3.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's, I don't know, like you said for your review of it, but like, it is the perfect way to end, even though it didn't end. But
Yeah.
what I've been saying, the ending, like, I would metaphorically cry to that as well, like if I did cry, I would cry to it a
Yeah.
lot. But I don't know, it's just crazy how well they worked in all the new characters because like
Yeah.
this is like an insane amount of new characters and for it to
Ken.
all work, yeah, Ken, like he's great.
Yeah.
For it to all work the way that it did is just shows how like
Talented.
masterful Pixar is
Yeah.
at what they do. Like
It felt so seamless.
yeah, like I could watch this movie over and over again and it would never get
literally.
old. Like Lotso is probably the perfect villain.
Yeah.
He's the best villain in all of Pixar. I'm gonna say it.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. There's just so many good things about this movie.
Yeah.
And it's just the way like Toy Story, the franchise means so much to me and like I don't know, this movie's a big reason why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But not as amazing as Incredibles at number 3 because The Incredibles is so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Literally, like, I just feel like every component of it works, and I feel like the family aspect of it drew me in, like, more so than other people because, like, it just, like, it's so effortless. Like, it feels like a real family. It's just, like, talking, and, like, that's where, like, the movie really succeeds is when, like, their superpowers like are just an extension of like their attitudes or like how they would treat each other in the family. Like everything is just an extension of like the core like family that's going on. Like that's what the story's about. All the superhero stuff is just like really good like metaphors for how they act as a family.
Yeah.
I feel like
set
that's
it up
so
so well.
smart. Yeah, and then like everything that happens, like the progression of the story just seems so natural. Like there's so many good parts in that movie. Like when he goes back into the jungle, and then he's like in the lava place with the guy, like the big robot, and then that's when he meets like the main villain. Like I feel like all of it just works so well, and it's so entertaining, and then it's so heartwarming. Like it's everything that a Pixar movie like should be. So,
yeah, I agree. Like the like at the beginning, like when they're like all like arguing at the table, you know.
Yeah,
and, like,
he's like running around.
That, like like the way that just sets the tone for the family kind of atmosphere so well. And I like when he like is like cutting the meat and he like cuts through the plate.
Yeah,
that freaked me out.
I thought it broke really weirdly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why it freaked me out. Yeah. So my number 2 is Monsters Incorporated. Yep.
My number 2 is Toy Story.
Oh gosh.
And I feel like we can just talk about these movies freely because my number 1 is Monsters
Yeah,
Incorporated.
I mean, there's only 2 more options, and for both of us, so my number 1 is Toy Story.
I feel like this is just purely personal preference.
Yeah.
I feel like these movies are both.
They're both perfect movies.
Perfect animated movies.
Literally,
like,
I actually rated them both 5 stars this time.
I feel like I just have a closer connection to Monsters Inc. than Toy Story.
That's so odd to me.
I mean,
no,
you know
not
what I mean.
No, not like that. But we just like watched Toy Story so much.
I know, like I was like buzzed for Halloween.
Yeah,
but I don't know, just like rewatching Monsters Inc. It is just so entertaining. I feel like I have more fun with Monsters Inc. than I do with Toy Story. I don't know.
I can see that.
And I feel like it was also like more emotionally resonating for me. Like Monsters Inc. is like that ending.
Yeah.
And then like the relationship again between Sully and Mike is so good. Like when they had that like falling out in like the Abominable Snowman's like igloo, I was like, I really felt that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I felt that like more than Woody and Buzz's falling out, but like I feel like maybe I did because like they've been built up to be like best friends. Like Woody and Buzz start as like not liking each other. So when they like
they were good from the get-go.
It works really well in Toy Story because Woody feeling guilty, but like not wanting to feel guilty is a really good internal struggle. But I feel like in terms of just pure like emotion and like progression of the story, I feel like Monsters Inc. was like more easily recognizable to be emotionally resonating, and I feel like that just did a lot for me.
Yeah, I think like, I mean, it is a perfect movie in my eyes. The only reason Toy Story is ranked higher is because like it just means more to me personally. But yeah, it is the second funniest Pixar movie behind Monsters U. But I mean, I don't know, like this is the 4th movie Pixar made, and I mean they started out with a bang with Toy Story. They had a stinker in A Bug's Life, kind of stinker,
average.
Yeah, and then, but then they did Toy Story 2, and I think that like the way that they like knew that they could like just go all out on a story.
Yeah.
By the time they made Toy Story 2, like on a grand scale, it really gave them the confidence to just do everything they could with this movie. And I think everything that they did do worked really well.
Yeah, so original. Like
yeah,
like these early Pixar movies just have some kind of like magic behind them. It's like people's like childhoods were like based off of these movies, and it's like you can just that's that feeling when you watch it. It's like it's like nostalgia, except like on another level. Like this is like the embodiment of nostalgia, but it still holds up. I feel like when something's nostalgic, it's like, oh, I remember that. Like that was so cool when I was younger, but now it's like whatever. This is like nostalgic, but it's still like I would watch Monsters Inc. like any day of the week.
Yeah, this will never get old.
Yeah,
neither will Toy Story.
They're timeless.
Yeah, I don't know. For Monsters Inc., just like finishing it off for me was like, I don't know, like even the twist like was so good at the end.
Seymour?
Who's Seymour?
Is that the villain's name?
Bro, no.
Isn't it Seymour?
No, it's
I'm pretty
Henry J. Waternoose.
I thought it was Seymour.
What? No, because I always thought that Randall would have been the bad guy, and then it was like, no,
Yeah.
Henry J. Waternoose is.
Seymour.
But like, I don't know, the way it builds is so good. Like,
Yeah, remember when the doors were going through?
yeah, that's what I was just gonna talk about.
Like, that was such a good sequence.
Yeah, it was, and like, I don't know, the way that that Waternoose just I don't know, like when he sent Sully through the door, and Sully was like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
like
That
that's
was
just like,
pure shock.
yeah, it's honestly crazy, and they just conveyed all the emotions of the movie really well.
Yeah.
Including at the end when, like, Sully goes back to see Boo. That was wild.
I feel like Toy Story and Monsters Inc. are just so, like, simple. They just, like, stuck to what they wanted to tell, like, so badly.
Mm.
It was just, like, toys and then monsters, and they're, like, incredibly original, but it was just so focused and so tight and just such, like, a simple
Yeah.
plot
Yeah.
that they were able to, like, make it as perfect as they could be. And that was, like, the final product. Like, they're perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
So-
They're like, for Toy Story, this is a perfect movie in my eyes.
Mhm.
Like, narratively, it's so just sound and put together so well. Like, it just goes from point to point to point, like, seamlessly. There's no issues with, like, how it's paced.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
I mean, and again, there's so many twists and turns. Like,
The stakes are always rising.
yeah, exactly. And they just, like, especially as they leave the house, like, it's not gonna get any better
Yeah.
until it does, like, somehow. And but even like that way that they just figure everything out isn't like a cop out. Like, it's
Through their development.
yeah, exactly. Which is how a movie should be, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it's how a good story should be told. But yeah, I don't know, the way it just all, like, works itself out, and like the way that Woody and Buzz change, like, they start out one way, change, and then, like, I don't know, it just all works together so well. All the characters are perfect, the story's perfect, like, the music is the best of any Pixar movie.
Wow.
Randy Newman is probably, like, awesome.
Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, and just how innovative it was too, and
Truly.
Like-
Like, this movie was crazy when it came out.
yeah,
People
it
were
was
freaking
mind-boggling.
out.
Yeah.
They were going wild
Yeah.
about this, like, garbage animation. Honestly, some of it is, like, kind of scary to look at now.
It is, like, the humans, they're frightening.
They're so scary.
Sid, like,
It's like the baby in that one short.
yeah, I made a review talking about how much I hated that baby.
Follow his letterbox.
Yeah, for real.
If you can find it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's called Tin Toy.
Yeah.
It was my review for, King of Comedy. I don't know how, you'll
How
have
did
to
those relate?
figure it out if you find my letter. Just look it up. Yeah, I don't know. Toy Story will never get old. It
Yeah.
is the best thing that Pixar has to offer.
I feel like it's just interchangeable, Monsters Inc. and Toy Story.
Yeah, yeah. It, like, I don't know. Again, it's just nostalgia that makes Toy Story number one for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is our Pixar movies ranked.
Yeah, I hope you liked it.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
I mean,
You live here, so.
yeah, there's no way I couldn't get out of this.
So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up there. Thank you for watching. This is a new segment. It will be reoccurring. Maybe Jake will reoccur too.
Maybe.
We don't know. Maybe it'll just be me talking next time. Okay, see ya.